Hello, everybody. Manithral here, and just a update here as far as the next RS3 update. And I kind of want to give a little bit of a heads up for this because there's going to be some things changing with not only the fort, but some other sorry, I want to fix my camera. But there's some other variables as well. So woodcutting is getting a big overhaul come Monday. We are finally got some information on Woodcutter's Grove, the 4 and 3 season update. Do keep in mind this only leaves one more update that was mentioned in the season to be released yet, which everything is planned for early summer yet. That's left, so we'll soon be seeing the next new season. So once the buried quest comes out, we should be able to see the next part. But as far as the Woodcutter's Grove goes, so not only are we going to be seeing another new hatchet, which is the Mkando, which means eventually we'll be seeing the tier 90 one as well. But the big thing is woodcutting is getting a major overhaul. So there is going to be wood boxes that you can make. They will work and operate a lot like the mining boxes that are currently available. But the Woodcutter Grove is essentially going to be right outside your fort and actually connected to it eventually. Once you start upgrading your fort a little bit more, which you need to have a gatehouse number. Well, a side gatehouse, you'll be able to create different perks for the Woodcutter's Grove, and once you get all the way up to the top grove, tier 3, you get your chance into getting the Mkando axe, which of course you need a dragon hatchet to be able to put this together. And the Mkando pieces come out of the new type of bird's nest is only going to be available after this update. So it won't be available before this update at all. So any bird's nest you guys might be holding on to, it's not going to impact that. And there's also going to be stuff like wood spirits that are coming into play. Those are going to be gained while wood cutting. So that's going to be actually kind of important as well. So that is something to kind of keep in mind. Currently, they are only gained through wood cutting, so you don't have to worry about them currently with drops. However, they might actually end up doing that. They might replace log drops with these. Who knows? I'm not going to say for sure. They didn't say. But the biggest thing overall, though, is the fact that each tree is now more properly aligned with the tiers. So instead of like a mid-tier, like elder logs or elder trees are now 90. Magic is now 80. It's not 75. U is 70, like so on and so forth. As the tiers go down. Could have went the other way, but my brain was working backwards today. So something to kind of keep in mind. We have those going on, but now we also have a new hatchet, and hatchets got reworked a little bit as well. Dragon is now 60, Crystal is now 70, and the Mkando is going to be 80. So that's something to keep in mind. But with all this new stuff going on, there's also new planks. So you will now be able to make planks all the way from plain all the way to elder, which is actually going to have an impact. Because come Monday's update, the Fort 4 and 3 is actually getting an overhaul where the current requirements to make the tier 3, the different tier buildings, the planks are actually going to be changing. And yes, some of those planks are going from just a plain mahogany to elder. So anyone who is looking to, been holding off essentially, doing this and getting your fort all the way upgraded, do so now before Monday hits. Because once Monday hits, it's going to be a little bit harder to get because you're not only going to have, the mahogany, but you're also going to have elder frames that you're going to have to make, and some of them are quite heavy. So keep that in mind, because this update not only switched from just the type of planks, because mahogany is still going to be in there, but there's now other ones, even magic, so any log is basically going to be able to be made into a plank, which is able to be made into frames. So if you do this now, you'll be able to use, at worst case scenario, mahogany, and in lesser quantities. And the reason why I say lesser quantities, because they are also increasing. Oh, they also made it so you can use noted form of items, so you won't have to actually worry about having just the straight up quantity, because some of them cost quite a bit now. As a result, though, you are getting a lot more XP from this. But if you want to go over this main page, there's a lot of information. The trees XP per cuts have been increased. Obviously, with the Mkando, you get much better turnout. Everything is much better. And the rewards, I'll go over the rewards yet here, for the Woodcutter's Grove. And there's a mysterious cave that we can't quite go into yet, but I got a feeling it has to do with the next quest. But this gives access to normal, well, the tier 1 gives access to normal and oak trees in the Woodcutter's Grove, ability to store logs, or log spirits in the log wood box. Log piles in the Woodcutter's Grove can be used to directly deposit logs directly to the bank. Birds nests found while woodcutting are automatically placed into the backpack. Access to tier 2's access to willow trees and yew, and a choking ivy in the Woodcutter's Grove. Access to the fairy ring in the Woodcutter's Grove, access to the farming tree patch in the Woodcutter's Grove. Birds nests can also be stored in the wood box, but bird nests while woodcutting are automatically stored in the wood box. And then we got tier 3, which gives you access to the elder tree in the Woodcutter Grove. Ability to obtain the Mkando hatchet pieces from bird's nests. Birds nests obtained from woodcutting after completing this upgrade have improved the rewards, so definitely worth going for. Thurgo can create the Mkando hatchet with all 4 Mkando pieces and additional materials such as the red berry pie, the dragon hatchet. So this is all something to kind of keep in mind. And now, when building stuff, there's actually new increments here, and they actually do show you all the ones that are required. And the frame amounts for the command center, this is the one I was actually really talking about. The command center tier 3 is the level 99. It takes elder logs or elder planks and frames, and it requires 80 frames, but this gives 331,000 XP, so it's quite heavy in the XP, but it's also quite expensive overall. Now there is going to be ways probably around this that I will be testing to make sure. Now we also mentioned about the woodcutter boxes, the wood boxes. So you'll be able to have a basic wood box, which stores logs and achy, oak wood box, which stores oak and below, willow wood box, willow logs, teak, maple, acacia, arctic pine, and eucalyptus, mahogany, yew, magic wood box, magic blister wood, cursed magic, and elder wood box. And it says all wood box will store previous materials, so upgrading to the next box will not remove any utility. You can upgrade these boxes from basic to elder. To upgrade your wood box, use a previously crafted wood box along with the next tier of logs to start crafting. So that is all you actually need to do. Now I will be testing to see too if you can have multiples of these boxes, because they can actually store up to quite a bit, so it is definitely worth getting these. So I will be testing out a bunch of different stuff. If you guys have anything you want me to test before you go and try to test it yourselves, please just let me know and I will go ahead and test that for you. But overall though, the Woodcutter's Grove is looking to be pretty awesome. Definitely a huge, huge upgrade for woodcutting. But that'll do for this video. Make sure you get as much done as you can before Monday, because things are going to get a little bit more expensive for the fort. But thank you guys so much for watching, and until next time, later guys.